retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. We get it, baby.
Well, what's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome on in to our pregame edition, week 1 here of Settling the Kingdom. Here with, of course, Tanner Dawson. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Well, I am in lovely Colorado at the moment. Gotten to talk some smack with a few Broncos fans around town, but
Donkeyville.
the thing is, I feel kind of bad for them. I pity them. I keep reminding them it's been 13 wins in a row the Chiefs have had now over the Denver Broncos. But hey, we'll worry about that in a later day, you guys. So first and foremost, dog's gonna bark, but we're gonna talk about the Chiefs and Cardinals game. So Tanner, what's your thoughts, man?
I'm kind of excited here. It's been a little sloppy this first half of sessions of NFL games, so I'm kind of anxious to see if maybe it cleans up in the second half at least. So as far as this goes into play, I kind of want to bring up. We'll bring in the inactives part. I think this is going to be the tall tale of the game today. Is the Cardinals are missing so many key guys going into play. J.J. Watt, Justin Pugh, Shea McBride, Rondale Moore is probably the biggest one on there because that's already depleted the receiving core as it is without Hopkins. So having a guy like Rondale Moore who's super talented out, that's a key. That's huge for Arizona.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing with Rondale Moore. He was actually going into this season going to be the replacement for Christian Kirk and the way he runs in the offense. And so with him being out right away from week 1, I mean, the Chiefs are now going against A.J. Green, and obviously DeAndre Hopkins is out for this game too for the next 6 weeks. So, I mean, there's nothing holding the Chiefs back right now in this game from just exploding. And I think defensively they're going to pull it off and do great. I think pressure is going to be key in this game. But there's really everything's going in the Chiefs' favor in this situation. So even with J.J. Watt being inactive as well, that's going to be a huge impact as well. So it's hard to foresee a situation where things could really go wrong for the Chiefs unless they just shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, that's a big one too. I mean, our inactives here, blow it up here a little bit. So Ronald Jones, that means our rookies out there. Rookie's going to get some touches. So, but nobody really surprising outside of Ronald Jones. So, what are your thoughts here on our inactives?
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty much what we expected, I think. Obviously, we know that Kennard still needs some work over there at right tackle, so holding him out for this game does make sense. Ronald Jones, I guess you could say it's a little bit of a surprise, but he obviously just narrowly made the roster. So I think that they're in a situation with him where they're going to hold on to him, but they also like what they have more in Isaiah Pacheco and probably the veteranship of other guys on the roster right now. So I think that's going to be just kind of what we expected. There's nothing too much of a surprise there for the Chiefs.
No, and we're the line pushed back to 6.5 today as favorite. So, I expect. I've said this on the AFC West show yesterday on Let's Talk Sports. Said it on the pre-Sunday show this morning. I expect a double-digit win by our Kansas City Chiefs. I expect to be in the 30 range and to hold these guys to maybe a max of 14.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how things play out with Jody Fortson, too, in this game, because obviously we saw him catch 2 touchdown passes here in this most recent preseason game. And we saw him a little bit at the beginning of last year before his injury becoming an active part of the offense. We expected to see a lot of 2 tight end sets. After he went down, that was not such a feasible thing to do anymore. And with this roster, the way it's orchestrated right now, I could definitely see Fortson being a guy in the red zone to watch out for in this game. People are going to be keying in on Travis Kelce, and they're going to forget all about our big young monster over there, Jody Fortson.
Who are we expecting in the running back core today? I mean, are we seeing? Do you think Clyde? I know Clyde's going to get majority of the playing time, but who's going to be the biggest impact out of there? I'm going McKinnon on my side. I think McKinnon's the guy that shows up. He's going to get all the pass catching balls essentially, and he's going to do exactly what he did at the end of last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible just because he did play well in the playoffs last year. I just think this team really does like Isaiah Pacheco quite a bit. So I'm going to lean more towards his way because if he goes out there and, breaks off a long run, that's something we haven't had here in Kansas City in a long time now as far as being guys that can, take it 40 or 50 yards to the house. And if that's something that Pacheco is able to show right off the bat, then I think the Andy Reid's going to love that. And we're going to see him involved in the receiving game as well. So guy that's that size, he's like 5'11", 220 pounds, runs in the 4.3s. That's incredible. So I think he's going to be my guy just because I think we want to see what we have in him and get him more touches.
So what about the defensive side? Obviously, we all expected Elijah Lee to come up and take that Mike, was it the Mike spot? But that never happened. He never escalated from the practice squad. Now you got Leo Chanel coming into play, starting right next to Nick Bolton and Willie Gay out there. What do we expect in this linebacking core today?
Yeah, it's going to vary because the Cardinals are in a situation where they're going to have to be using more multiple tight end sets this year. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that they do have a couple of really good tight ends, obviously. Zach Ertz right there, along with Trey McBride, the draft pick. And I think they're going to be running the ball. So with that in mind, I think we will see a heavy dose of Leo Chanel out there on the field, stopping the run, because I just can't foresee the Cardinals going out there going, okay, we're going to go 11 personnel all game and split them out 3 or 4 wide. They just don't have the personnel right now on their roster that's healthy enough to be able to go out there and do that kind of ball game. I see this being a game where we probably have 3 linebackers on the field for, probably over 50% of the snaps.
Yeah, and Trey McBride's actually inactive. One of the guys inactive today, so that's already another spot that's hit against the Cardinals for what they have, and James Conner actually. So,
Right. I think they're going to have to run the ball to have a chance in this game.
mhm.
I can't, you can't put, Kyler Murray in a position where he's going to try to go out there and make plays happen with the receiving core they have right now. I just think it's going to be one of those things where give James Conner the ball probably 25 times and see if he can keep you in the game, and then keep it close and try to score late to win the game for the Cardinals.
Right. So, all right. So, who's your offensive MVP that you think it's way too early right now to happen today?
Offensive MVP. I mean, I got to go Travis Kelsey. I know it's the easy choice, but I'm trying to go with the correct choice. And going into a situation where the Chiefs have a bunch of brand new wide receivers on the roster going in, we haven't even seen Juju Smith-Schuster catch a pass yet in a Chiefs uniform. I think you're going to go back to your old reliable target, and Travis knows this offense in and out. So for me, he's going to go out there, probably going to have 9 or 10 catches today, probably somewhere around 100 yards like always, and it's just going to be his day, I think.
Yeah, I think a couple TDs for sure. My offensive MVP today is actually made Juju Smith Schuster. I've never been much of a fan since he's been to KC, but I think today's the day he shows why he's listed as the number one wide receiver, a guy we didn't see
Mhm.
much in preseason, and who's built sounds like a pretty good rapport with Mahomes. So I have Juju as my guy that's gonna look really good. So
I do want to say about Juju and just kind of bringing up Jody Fortson, bringing up Travis Kelsey, is the Chiefs' red zone offense is going to look so different this year because you have a plethora of guys on this roster right now that can go high point the ball and win contested catches. And it's even including Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's 6'4". So I just think you have a great variety of guys. Once you get inside the 20, 15, 10-yard line that put them up on one-on-one battles, I think that it's going to be a different look because we're used to having guys just have to get open in a short passing game and then run after catch. Where I think we've even seen in training camp, Mahomes make a couple passes over to Juju in the end zone where he had to win a battle basically, and I
mhm.
see that happening quite a bit today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I can see that as well. What about defense? Who's your defensive MVP today?
I'm probably going to have to go Nick Bolton right here. I mean, he makes the most sense to me in a game where I think you're going to see a heavy dose of Zach Ertz as well as James Conner. I think Bolton's going to be all over the field, and just going into year 2 after what an awesome rookie season he had, he's kind of our next big thing at linebacker that's going to replace what we had in Derek Johnson. And we haven't been able to fill that void since Derek left, and I think that Bolton's that perfect guy for it. So just got the nose for the ball. I mean, I expect him to have somewhere around 11 or 12 tackles, and you never know, maybe even a pick. I think that Willie Gay even mentioned he wants to actually lead linebackers in the NFL in interceptions this year,
Hmm.
so that's something he's eyeballing. So I think one of those two guys stands out, but I'm going to go Nick Bolton. What do you got?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Frank Clark is gonna be our
Ooh,
defensive MVP. Sober, slimmed up, matured, I guess you could say. Frank Clark is gonna
right.
come out, and he may not get. I'm not gonna put it out there that he's gonna get like 2 sacks or anything like that. What I'm looking for is pressure on Murray, getting Murray out of the pocket or containing him for the most part, and being the guy that's giving him heck. So I'm going Frank Clark today as my defensive MVP.
Well, on the other side, Tanner, as well, I want to point out that Carlos Dunlap was going to be pretty limited, I think, this week as far as in
Hmm.
snap counts. So we are going to see a ton of George Karlaftis, ton of Frank Clark as well. So
And Mike
I
Dana.
think, yeah, Mike Dana is going to get some in the rotation. I think that Karlaftis is going to be the guy, though. I mean, whenever plays break down, we've seen his motor, we've seen how he's getting coverage sacks, but that's also effort sacks. And those are the kinds of things that do show up eventually. Is just making sure you're working towards that extra 2 seconds whenever a play breaks down, instead of just giving up on the play and letting a guy like a Kyler Murray bail out and escape the pocket right there. I think that Kyle Loftus could be a guy to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, no, I agree there. I'm excited for them. I'm excited for a lot of the rookies today too. Jalen Watson has a chance to get out there and showcase. Cook, there's a lot of the Leo Chanel, like there's a lot of rookies out there today that'll be very exciting to watch as they actually working with the starters.
Well, I'll tell you this, Tanner. Whenever the schedule first came out, and I saw Cardinals Week 1 in Arizona, I first thought to myself, that's going to be a great test. I mean, that's going to be a very, very tough opponent, and it'll give us a great Week 1 test. And here we are, we come upon this day, and we're looking at this situation going, like, the Chiefs have no reason not to blow them out, honestly.
Exactly, they don't.
And we've seen the NFL today. The NFL is looking a little wacky at times. The Steelers, I'm not sure what the score is right now, but obviously they got up big on the Bengals, and we don't know what to expect because it is Week 1. But I think that we're going in this, and the Chiefs are confident with a great coaching staff. Obviously, Mahomes has a lot to prove after having his worst 2 quarters of his career in his last ball game against the Bengals in the playoffs. I think he's going to be out there and wanting to show the world some things, and all this talk about how the offense can't work without Tyreek Hill can be shut down.
Yeah, and that score right now is 20-14 right now. So for that, but the Steelers are still up. But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. It's gonna be an exciting Week 1 game here to really see how things go. Do you see? I don't know. Do you see any potential sloppiness coming into play for the Chiefs, or are we gonna just casual Week 1 stuff that'll happen?
It really shouldn't be too sloppy overall. I think that it'll be interesting to see how Juju does, obviously, and Sky Moore. Just getting integrated into the offense and seeing how they're used and seeing if they understand the route concepts right out the gate. Because this offense has typically been pretty sharp and crisp. We all know what to expect out of these guys. So it shouldn't be sloppy. We've seen some NFL games already today that have looked really sloppy. And with the way Andy Reid is coaching, I just don't think that's something we should expect. It's especially not on the offensive side. I'll be curious on the defensive side if we have any hiccups. But offensively, I think everything should be ready to go.
Yep, I agree. All right, guys. Well, tune in after the Chiefs game. We'll post it here at some point, maybe a little later, but we'll get it done today. So tune in for our post-game show later tonight for the Chiefs here as we
got
conclude
a score
with
prediction,
Arizona.
Tanner?
Score prediction?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think my score prediction was on yesterday morning was 30-10. Chiefs.
I like it. I'm going to go on this one 27-13.
Okay.
They will punch it in with either a Kyler Murray rushing touchdown or a James Conner touchdown. But I'd be surprised if anyone else on that team breaks out, barring that maybe we have a safety situation that somehow they forget how to play the back end. We've seen that in the past, but Daniel Sorensen's gone, so we should be okay, I think.
Agreed. Yeah. I think we might be all right. I don't know. Maybe too aggressive at times. I don't know. We'll see. So, all right, guys, everybody have a great Chiefs game and go Chiefs.
All right. You got it.